Hi everybody, so today we're in Cripple Creek, Colorado. Now as most of you know, Cripple Creek is known as an old gold mining camp, and more recently it's gold mining of another kind. It's filled with casinos, but it's becoming known more and more as a place for the Tesla rally. So today we are here to talk to the second annual Tesla rally, and so today we're here to talk to the owners of the Tesla cars, and they've got like 6 charge stations here, which is pretty amazing for such a small town, out of the way town. So where we are right now is we are standing in front of one of a historic building where it is said that Nikola Tesla himself actually came down here to spend time away from Colorado Springs when he was doing his experiments, just to get away. And he had an apartment right up there. So let's take you inside to show you where Nikola Tesla himself stayed.
This apartment right up here is where Nikola Tesla stayed.
You're going to go inside now.
And we are going to take a tour.
He walked up these stairs.
Nikola Tesla walked up these stairs.
He was such a visionary and a genius.
Yep. He stayed over here.
Oh, here it is.
So this was his hangout.
And this room has been added on. It was a little bit different back in his day.
Right.
But you can see where this was added on.
Huh.
Wow. Nikola Tesla stayed here.
Yeah.
So he would come down from Colorado Springs. Do you know what he would do here? Just get away?
I think to get away and kind of relax, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is his vacation.
I believe so, because they came up on the choo choo. You know, there was a train that came up. So, you know, it's a beautiful drive.
Oh,
Can you
man.
imagine on the train?
Yeah.
He probably stared out these windows.
This is where he took a shower or a bath or whatever.
So this is the shower.
They shared the bathroom.
The
shared bathroom
And of course that's
was here.
Yeah.
Wow.
That might be the same sink, I don't know about
Could
that.
be the same sink. Wash your hands here.
I can't thank you enough.
Oh yeah, this is just.
And see, it was
Cool.
radiated heat, it was like steam heat. You know, back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
But this is, 100 years ago almost.
Steam heat.
I can't remember what year he was up here.
I think it was, well, it was in Colorado Springs, I think. Was it 1899?
Can't remember. Yeah, pretty neat now. So they would have sat down here and ate probably and stuff, in the living room or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Okay, so we're at the Tesla rally in Cripple Creek, Colorado, and here are some owners of a Tesla. Very beautiful blue color here, love it. So, what are your names?
I'm Tom Mealy, and this is my spouse Diane Mealy.
Good to meet you. Okay, so I have a few questions. How long have you owned your Tesla?
Since last Thanksgiving. So
Okay. What model is your Tesla?
it's a Model S 85D, which means it's all-wheel drive. The D does.
I'll show you.
Okay. What is this your first Tesla?
This is my first Tesla, yes.
Okay. Have you gone on any road trips in it?
Yes, we went to a rally in Custer, Wyoming.
No, Custer, South Dakota.
Custer, South Dakota. Yeah.
Oh wow. Did you have any trouble finding charging stations in your?
None at all. There were
All
good
spotted out.
superchargers. Yeah, on the way.
Okay. Have you had any mechanical issues in your Tesla?
No mechanical issues at all.
Okay. Have you had any issues, like that you've had to deal with customer service or?
I dealt with customer service on a camera issue, and they took care of it right away with no problem.
Okay. What's your favorite feature?
I would have to say the quick acceleration. That's my favorite feature.
What's yours?
It's comfortable and it's just so novel. It's just, and it's quiet. Very quiet, of course. No motor.
Yeah. Do you have any least favorite features?
Well, the least favorite feature would be Diane's. I mean, she doesn't have
It
a.
needs a light in the makeup mirror and the visor.
Yeah.
The visor needs to be longer for the side, this for the sun. And it needs a handle
To get out.
inside and out,
Okay.
in and out. Those are just things that, we would recommend to Tesla. But I'm sure they're working on them because I think other people are.
Probably, yeah. But you know what? They may see this and you never know.
There you go.
So what surprised you the most about your Tesla?
Surprised me the most was the acceleration. How quickly it goes off the lines.
About you?
The cost.
It was expensive, yeah.
Well, yeah. Is there anything that you wish that it had or didn't have? I mean, other than I mean, that kind of answered that question, but is there anything else that you wish were
I
different?
can't think of anything. It's
Okay.
pretty darn nice.
It is.
Also,
What's
you
the
can also
craziest
find
thing that
more
has happened in, with, or while driving your Tesla?
This is a TT30.
I don't think anything really crazy has happened.
I just say, let's look like that.
I do like the
30 amp service. Go find it in RV.
auto drive features, the autopilot, especially in stop and go traffic. I mean, you can just sit there and take your hands off the wheel when it's
It
stop and
didn't
go.
recognize the cones and there was road work
Yeah, this is a 50
on the road trip to Custer, and it did not recognize the cones.
So we couldn't use auto drive.
So yeah, you had to keep on moving over because it didn't see them. It sees the lines of it not.
Did you guys use autopilot coming down this road that's all twisty and turns?
No, it's the lines aren't good enough.
I was kind of thinking they were a little faded, but we just had to ask that one. What would you say to anyone considering buying a Tesla?
Buy it. It's a great car. I charge it at home, sometimes on 110, sometimes 220, depending on the range that I've driven that day. But it's a great car.
Whose idea was it to buy the Tesla?
50 foot of the 30 amp.
I've wanted an electric vehicle for years.
And no, they're not
Finally, when they came out with the all-wheel drive, that convinced me. Being in Colorado, you need that. So,
Well, wonderful. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate your time.
thank you.
Enjoy it.
Wilson.
Wilson. How long have you owned your Tesla?
1 year, almost to the day.
Okay. What model is it?
Model S.
Okay. Is it your first Tesla?
Yes.
Is it an 85?
It's a 90D.
Have you gone on any road trips?
Yes. Grand Tetons, Custer, and a few other supercharged trips. But yes.
And did you have any trouble finding charging stations? Okay. Have you ever had any types of issues that would require contacting Tesla?
Had a piece of trim that was tightened up. I rotated the tires.
How was your experience with their customer service?
It's very nice.
What's your favorite feature?
Acceleration, I think.
Do you have ludicrous mode?
No, I'm ashamed.
Okay. What surprised you the most about your Tesla?
Easy to find charging, I think. How little impact it was over a gas car. Plus, it was made. I like the build quality. It was, nothing rattles, nothing shakes.
Okay. Is there anything that your Tesla has that you wish it didn't, or that it doesn't have that you wish it did? Just anything you wish
I'd like
it did?
more cup holders, I think.
Okay. What is the craziest thing that has happened in, with, or while driving your Tesla?
Nothing crazy that I remember. I've always observed state and local traffic laws.
Do you use autopilot much?
Yes, a lot.
You like it?
Yes, it's very nice.
Okay. So what would you say to anyone considering buying a Tesla?
I don't think it's one of those cars that you have to have a gas car backup. I do have one for certain. There is a place, relatives I visit, that it would add more time than I'd like to go to their place because there's not a good charger along the way. And for those, if I don't want to take the extra time, I would take my gas car. But other than that, I don't think there's any problems, and I would get one.
Okay, well, that's the only questions. Do you have anything you want to add?
Have you meet the nicest people and the best neighbors.
So what are your names?
Lindsay?
Dan.
Lindsay and Dan, okay. How long have you owned your Tesla?
This is going on about a year and change.
Okay. What model is it?
This is the P85D, which is the performance edition. The 85 is the battery size, and then the D means it's dual motors. So there's a motor in the front and a motor in the back. So it's sort of like all-wheel drive. But then I also upgraded it after I got it to ludicrous mode. And so the back of the car has a badge that has an underline under it, and that signifies that it's ludicrous. And ludicrous means it'll go 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
And what did that entail getting it upgraded? Did you have to take it in? Did they just...
Most of the upgrades to the car are over software, so it's just like your cell phone, it comes over as a software update. But the Ludicrous was a little more involved because they had to replace some components in the car in order to endure such intense power from the battery to the motors.
Okay.
So had to take it in, and they did a little hardware upgrade and then a software upgrade as well. So that one was a little more extensive, but usually it's just a software upgrade when new things roll out.
Okay, and what did you think of ludicrous mode?
I mean, it's, already pretty fast. I don't know how you could go faster, but they did it. So, yeah, you can actually tell. You can tell some of the features based on the badging on the back of the car.
Okay. Is this your first Tesla?
Yeah, basically. Basically, basically. It's second Tesla.
Okay.
The other one we had just for a very short period of time because then they rolled out some new models.
Oh, so yeah, you get the car,
we swapped.
and 2 weeks later they came out with the all-wheel drive, the dual motor.
So we
model.
gave it back. We gave it back to them, the other one, and said, "Well, wait for the."
So that we wouldn't have to have another all-wheel drive car. So yeah.
Okay. Have you gone on any road trips?
Yes.
Yes, we went to Albuquerque. Maybe a month ago, actually.
All right. Did you have any trouble finding charging stations or anything?
No, what's really great is the map will actually direct you to the supercharger. So the navigation inside the car actually will route you and have you stop at the appropriate times so that you can get to your final destination. And it's a quick stop, like maybe 20 minutes to charge up all the way to be able to get to the next one.
Yeah, we did 2 20-minute stops, and that got us to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And one of them we stayed longer than 20 minutes because we couldn't eat lunch in 20 minutes.
Right.
We needed a little more time.
Yeah.
So it's really quite doable to just stop and charge a little bit before getting on the road.
Yeah, and almost any major destination you want to go in the United States now, there's a supercharger network that you can get from one place to another pretty easily. You can go across country and you'll be totally fine.
Have you had any kind of mechanical issues or any issues really that you've had to deal with customer service other than the upgrade?
No, none that I can think of.
Okay.
All the things that I've done have just been proactive, like wanting to upgrade to ludicrous mode or taking it in because it was time to have them do an inspection.
How has been your experience with their customer service?
So the customer service can mean a few things. In particular, the service centers where you take the car.
Right.
That team we get to the one in Denver, the Denver Service Center, and the folks that work there are just great. So it's been a really good experience, and they stay on top of it and call you if they need more time, and they wash the car and do all sorts of stuff. So it's been great.
Okay. What is your favorite feature about the Tesla?
Goodness gracious. Well, the front's pretty cool because I can fit in it or something. Man, actually the seats, storage is really great in the Tesla, and the seats fold all the way down, and you can fit a lot. I feel like I like to, do a lot of projects around the house, and we can, go to the big box home improvement store and get a ton of stuff and it'll all fit in there. Don't have to have a pickup truck or rent a truck or anything. It just fits and you can haul stuff around.
Okay. What about you?
Well, you know, that's a
ludicrous
great answer, and I was going to say the speed, of course, but I think the main thing for me is, you know, I'm a guy that's in technology, and the car is a physical thing, but really what a Tesla is software on wheels. So it's so much more fundamentally about software than any other automobile that exists up to this point. So I appreciate that, and I think that's the future.
Okay. What surprised you the most about the Tesla?
The big screen, being able to have, you know, your music and your navigation and be able to do two things at once. That's pretty awesome. And like you said about the software, you can actually get upgrades over the air for the car. So that's one of the many reasons they don't do model years on the cars, is because they can just become a new car when a software update comes out. They can become faster. They can have new features. I'm trying to think of some of the.
Well, autopilot's the most significant one. The car has sensors in it physically, but then about a year after the sensors started to ship, they rolled out a software update over the air that allows the car to do some of the early stages of self-driving. So it can like stay in the lane. You don't have to. They want you to hold the steering wheel, but you could remove your hands for a minute. The car's just going to stay in the lane. It'll back off the speed of the cars in front of you, and do all sorts of stuff like that. And there's some new improvements that they've talked about that are coming next. Like if you're on a highway, you'll be able to just put on your blinker and it'll like get off on the exit for you. So there's things like that are just improvements over software that the car can do. And when I got it, when it first arrived, it didn't do that. So it's just gotten better and better.
Okay. Is there anything that you wish that your Tesla had or didn't have that it currently has? Like anything you would change? Anything at all? Even if it's mine.
Probably a little bit better interior styling. They're still getting the hang of that, but it's still fairly comfortable and all that. And once the autopilot is fully autonomous, that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I would say my only little tiny gripe is that we're Apple people. We have iPhones and things, and the interoperability with iOS isn't quite as good because Tesla has built their whole own car platform that's proprietary, whereas all the other automakers use kind of something off the shelf. And so some of the other cars are starting to do things like CarPlay, where your maps from your iPhone can be projected on the screen in the car. And I think that'd be pretty cool to have in the Tesla, especially on the big screen.
Okay. What would you say to anyone considering buying a Tesla?
Do it. Buy one now, or wait for if these are the current models that are out, but the Model 3 comes out next year. I've got one on order, and those are going to be even more affordable and do pretty much everything the ones today can. So by this time next year, there's really going to be a Tesla for everyone, which is super fantastic.
And with 200 plus miles of range, range is not an issue. There's charging. You can charge. You can get where you want to go. You can go up mountains. I mean, the car is filthy right now because we just came from a mountain this morning and then drove back up to get to this mountain. So it's filthy, but it can do it. And the range, we made it. We didn't have to stop to charge. But on the way home, we can charge for a little bit if we need to. And there's chargers right here if we want. So range is not a non-issue. And so anybody that has range anxiety, the car really does a lot to make you get over that.
I'm here with Elizabeth, and this is her Tesla. It's pretty purple one, definitely different. So how long have you owned your Tesla?
Just since January, beginning of January.
Okay, not too long, but not too short.
Right, just about.
Okay, what model is your?
Mine is a 70, so it's a dual motor, and it's a 70 kilowatt battery.
Okay, got ludicrous?
No, I wish. Those are only available on the P85D, so
okay.
There are a couple cars around here that have this.
Is this your first Tesla?
It is. My first one. It's a Model S, and I love it. It's a dream car. The fact that, you know, it's electric, it's made in the US, and it's awesome to drive, just sold me.
Okay. Have you gone on any road trips with it?
Yeah, I actually went down to southern Colorado, to Walsenburg in Trinidad.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
we live just west of Walsenburg. We don't claim Walsenburg, we claim Levita.
Right.
You know.
Right. So that was fun. I charged in a couple places, and Trinidad was one of them, and Colorado Springs. So that was super fun.
Have you had any type of issues, mechanical issues, or any issues that you needed to involve Tesla to handle?
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. I mean, it's been such a dream to drive it. Zero maintenance. I plug it in at night. I never have to visit a gas station.
Isn't that awesome?
It's
you never realize how bad they smell until you haven't been to one in a while.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh my God, it's so dirty here.
No oil either, so I never have to get oil changed. So, so far it's been great.
Okay. What's your favorite feature aside from this purple wrap, this awesome purple wrap? So,
you know, I've asked myself that a lot, and I don't know that I can come up with one. I think the fact that it's electric and it's, you know, greener than a gasoline is definitely up there, but just the handling itself and the fact that, again, it's made in the US, which supports the US economy, I think that's awesome. So I don't know that there is one.
Okay.
I have to name a few of them.
Okay. What surprised you the most about your Tesla?
Oh, that's a good question. I think what surprised me the most is how well it handles. I hadn't really known anyone with a Tesla before I got mine, so having test driven it a little bit, I kind of knew what to expect. But I think ever since I've had it, I've just always been impressed with how well it handles. So I think that's why it's best.
Would you change anything? Like, is there anything you wish it had that it doesn't, or anything you wish it didn't have that it does? Just anything at all?
Yeah, that's a good question as well. I would say they could do a better job on wind noise reduction. When you are at high speeds, there could be quite a bit of wind noise in the cabin. So I know that's a common complaint. But overall, I mean, I don't have major complaints, so I think, you know, overall I'm pretty happy with it. And I mean, it's just little nitpicky things, right? So nothing to lose the over.
Okay. What is the craziest thing that has happened in, with, or while driving your Tesla?
Oh.
Whether it's people running out because, oh my God, it's so cool, or whether, you know, like autopilot feature, if you use that much. I mean,
oh, yes, yeah. I mean, I definitely get a lot of stares because it is purple, which is great, but gosh, you know, I don't have anything extraordinary to report about it. I think autopilot has been amazing, and it keeps improving with each software update that they make, but it's, I use it mainly on the highways. I don't trust it quite yet on the roads, like the residential roads, but nothing extraordinary. I mean, it's just fun to drive every few years.
Okay, and what would you say to anybody considering wanting to get a Tesla?
Get it if you can.
Okay.
You know, so there's not much I can say. I mean, I think you just have to get a Tesla test drive, and then you'll be sold like I was.
Okay. And does your husband have a Tesla?
He does not.
And how many times has he tried to take your Tesla to drive it for himself?
We shared it equally. Like, I drove up, I'll let him drive down, but yeah, no, he enjoys it as well.
Okay, thank you so very much. I love the purple sauce.
Thank you.
James.
James, so I was going to ask you a couple of questions. The first thing I want to ask is, I noticed that yours has this line across the front, and not many of them do. What is that?
Okay, that's a clear bra that they put on top of the car, and it protects from stones and chips.
Okay.
It's on the front of the car, it's on the glass, it's on the mirrors, it's on the rear quarter panel, and it's across the back. So it's just protection.
Okay. How long have you owned your Tesla?
For just over a year.
Just over a year. What model is it?
This is a Model S, Tesla S 85D, meaning that it's dual mode.
Okay. Is it your first Tesla?
It's the first Tesla, yes.
Okay. Have you gone on any road trips in it?
We went to Mount Rushmore, Devil's Towers, Washington, D.C., New Jersey, and Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. Did you have any trouble finding any charge stations or having any
No,
charging
not a
stations?
problem at all.
Have
And
you-
the car will tell you where all the charging stations are along your route.
Makes it kind of, I guess, easy, huh?
Easy, plus it keeps you from getting mileage anxiety where you're constantly worrying about whether you're going to make it to the next supercharge station. But then it's unique enough so that if you're traveling, you normally have a bag that Tesla provides for you, and it's got electrical cable and different adapters, so that you can plug into almost anything.
Oh, so if you did feel like you were getting into a situation that, for whatever reason, well, that's not.
And it's also got destination chargers. They're not superchargers, but they're Teslas, the same as what you've got here. That's a destination charger.
Okay.
So it's not going to charge as quickly, but it gives you power.
Right.
And they're all free.
Have you had any types of issues with the car that you've had to contact Tesla? Like any mechanical or even non-mechanical, just that you've had to...
Two issues. Once when we were coming back from church, my wife noticed that the contour on the headliner of the car was not the same as her side. And took pictures of it, pointed it out to Tesla. And Tesla was great. They scheduled a time to bring the car in. They gave me another brand new Tesla. And to replace the headliner, you have to take the windshield out. So they took the windshield out, replaced the headliner, and they saw that after a year's time, you've got all these superficial little chips. The glass that they use in Tesla, it's a certain type of glass for keeping down the road noise, but it's a soft glass. So you get a lot of these little chips in the glass. So they changed the glass out and put a new glass in for me, which was great. It's over $1,000 glass sheet.
Wow. Okay, what is your favorite feature?
A lot, well, there's sensors all around the car, and it helps you for parking, and when you're going in reverse, the entire screen can light up and show you what's behind you, which is very, very good. My wife drives a Jaguar XF, and they've got a little screen that will also show you what's behind you, but this has much greater resolution and much greater clarity when you're viewing it.
Okay. Is there anything that you wish were different? Like that you wish it had that it doesn't, or you wish it didn't have that it does? Just anything at all?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. What surprised you most about your Tesla?
Surprised me the most? How stable it is in ice and snow. It's over 5,000 pounds, so it's a very heavy vehicle. And I've driven it through the winter months with no problem at all. It handles extremely well, and I've driven Porsches, Mercedes, BMWs, and this handles better than they do.
Okay. What is the craziest thing that has ever happened with, in, or while driving your Tesla? Just
went down to 3-mile range. Now
Oh.
that'll get your attention, because it'll say you can go 3 more miles, but after that you're on your own.
And how far were you to a charge station, or your house,
I was about
or
10 miles from a charge station.
and
So
what happened?
this is when I was coming down north of Denver. I pulled into a Four Seasons because it said, and the car will tell you where the nearest destination charger is. So I pulled into a Four Seasons. We've stayed there before, not that particular one, but I was able to get power there.
Okay. And did you just have to do it, were you there a while, or did you just just enough to get you to the next charge, or supercharger?
I stayed there for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
Got enough power to get to the supercharge station.
It's not bad.
Right.
So what would you say to anybody considering buying a Tesla?
to arrange for a test drive. It doesn't cost you anything, and they'll have plenty of test drives, extra cars in Denver. And probably for cost consideration, either buy, if you want an SUV, buy a Tesla Model X 60D, which is about 1/3 the cost, or a Model 3, which will be coming out the end of next year, and they're 1/3 the cost of something like
Rexford, Haugen.
Rexford, Haugen. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is your Tesla.
Yes.
I noticed, are you camping?
No, I just keep chairs.
Ah.
I just keep camp chairs because they're handy. Like if you end up somewhere and you got to charge for a bit, it's nice to just sit out of the car for a minute. So
That is actually a good idea.
there's also plenty of room in there. I sometimes keep a tackle box and some fishing gear. So it's great for because I drive over to Grand Junction a lot. So.
Okay. So how long have you owned your Tesla?
18 months.
18 months. Is this your first Tesla?
Yes.
What model is it?
This is a P85, 2013.
Does it have ludicrous?
No, only the P85DL does.
Oh, okay.
You'll actually see this guy might have one. It actually has, if you look at the badge, they have this cool little underscore.
Okay.
So, there.
Have you gone on any road trips in your Tesla?
Yes, frequently over to Grand Junction, and I also drove down to Trinidad a couple times.
Okay. Did you have any trouble finding any charging stations or anything like that?
I've only had trouble finding a charging station in Glenwood, where the supercharger is at a hotel, and a lot of people that have gasoline-powered vehicles will park in the charging spots because they don't care.
Yeah.
They would rather park and get a spot near the hotel than have to park a little ways away and walk. And so it's a little hard there. But beyond that, it's always been easy.
Okay. Have you ever had any issues where you've had to reach out to Tesla about your car?
I have. I've had a few. One was my battery pack had a battery cell go bad, and they replaced the battery. They repaired the battery, so they took my battery out of the car, sent my battery back to be remanufactured, and in the meantime gave me a loaner battery so I could still drive my car around during that entire time. And then once mine was repaired, they swapped the batteries back in.
How did you know you had a bad battery cell?
For me, my car gave me some trouble while I was trying to supercharge. It was charging extremely slowly, and it took probably about 3 hours to start really charging. And so I called them over the phone. They did a remote diagnostic, and they said, "Yep, you've got a bad battery cell. We'll have a new battery ready for you. Just come in tomorrow." So I went in. Took them about an hour to drop the battery, put in a new one, and then I was on my way.
So how would you describe your experience with their customer service?
It's been pretty good. Over the phone support's been fantastic. I had that issue, and I had another one where the superchargers were out of power, and they were able to remotely reset the system, and I was good to go.
Okay.
Their Denver service center is a little overcrowded because they only have one that covers pretty much all of Colorado, and it also covers Wyoming, Nebraska, a bit of Kansas, and New Mexico. So you got all these states that they have to come to Denver.
Wow.
For. And the reason that they're stuck with one is because the state law only allows a manufacturer to own one dealership. And so, because of that law, they can only have the one location. It's also why they only have the one showroom in Colorado in Park Meadows.
Wow.
Otherwise, the state requires the manufacturers to go into an agreement with a third party. That's why you have all these like Burke & Cotter or Herberger. You have all these other dealers, and they're private. Whereas Tesla owns all of their shops themselves.
Well, hopefully that law will change soon.
Hopefully.
It needs to.
It does.
And so what's your favorite feature about your Tesla?
The acceleration. Like, absolutely. Like, it's fast, it's instant, and it's quiet. I mean, I don't know if you were recording us while we were coming into town, and you could just hear how quiet the cars are.
Quiet
because
as
you hear the tires, and that is it. But when you put your foot on the pedal, it goes.
Yeah.
It's got milliseconds of throttle response.
Wow.
And the regenerative braking that is part of the acceleration, because it's your deceleration, is my second favorite. You go down, like coming down these hills here,
You set your cruise at 50, keeps you at 50.
Wow. So what surprised you the most about your Tesla?
Honestly, the amount of space. Like, the amount of space that's in this car. I had to carry the 21-inch wheels. I had 4 of them I had to carry. I had to carry the 4 tires. I also have camera gear. I have these. I have some camping gear. I had all that in the car, and I still had room for 2 people. Wow. Like, you can fit tons of stuff in these vehicles.
What would you, is there anything you would like to change about, whether it's getting, a feature that you wish it had that it doesn't, or that you wish it didn't have that it does, just anything that you wish was different?
I honestly, I wish they had a slightly nicer interior. The old interiors that they have, because mine's an older vehicle, so it's got the older seats. They're just not as comfortable as the newer seats. They use a softer leather now, but they don't quite compare to a BMW or an Audi, because they have a lot more experience in building a nice executive interior. Those other companies have like cooling seats or seats that have a lot more adjustments, and those are starting to come out. Like the Model X has the ventilated seats, but not the S yet. And that's what I really wish this had, was cooled seats.
Okay. So what is the craziest thing that has happened with, in, or while driving your Tesla?
Craziest thing? I got caught in a hailstorm, and it was golf ball size hail. And the craziest thing is hearing those hit the sunroofs, because you just hear them hitting and shattering on the sunroofs, and it's just terrifying. Like, there were branches falling off the trees. They were getting shredded and pulverized. But the glass in the roof survived. I did get quite a few dings that had to be repaired, but it's aluminum. It pops out.
Yeah. What would you say to anybody considering buying a Tesla?
I would say you probably can't go wrong with getting, an older one. Like, a lot of people always want the newest. They always want the top of the line tech, and there's nothing wrong with wanting that. But you can get an older one, and it will be a great daily commuter vehicle. If you have a place to charge at home, I plug in every night when I get home from work. Every day, I just go back out with a new battery. Basically, I go from a 60% charge to 40 and back and forth. Battery will probably last me for 10 to 15 years doing that.
Never having range anxiety.
Nope. The car has a inbuilt map that shows you where the nearest chargers are, and there's plenty of web utilities that show you where there's plugs, like these plugs over here. There's maps that tell you where they are, and as long as you know where they're going, you can get there. Biggest thing that people don't get about these cars is you can charge wherever there's power. If there's power, you can charge. You can go somewhere that doesn't even have a gas station, but if they got a 110 outlet, you're kosher. Or campgrounds. Campgrounds are great. Go there in the middle of the day when they don't have anybody going in. Tell them, hey, I'll give you 10, 15 bucks. Can I plug in for an hour? They will absolutely take $10 for you to sit there for an hour. I mean,
yeah. Well,
you get a nice charge.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Okay, can you get your car back here? Just, yeah, move it back. So yeah, we need to do an interview, so.
Tell me where.
Cool.
Mike?
Mike, how long have you owned your Tesla?
37 days.
Wow.
Somebody just asked and I figured it out. So
okay.
37 days.
Okay. Is this your first one?
It is.
Okay. What made you decide to buy one?
I live in Colorado Springs and took a job in Denver, and moving wasn't an option. So we started looking for a hybrid, and then realized that hybrid dual motor, like all-wheel drive, wasn't really an option for the most part until you started getting really expensive. And so then we started looking at the Tesla when we got into the higher price range, since it is all electric and was even more sensible than a hybrid at that price point. And we kind of went down that path, and my wife test drove it and fell in love with it. So that's how we got it.
Got the seal of approval from the boss. Have you gone on any road trips with it?
No, about 200 miles is really the furthest we've gone. So
okay.
Nothing too extravagant.
Have you had any charging issues?
No.
Okay. Have you had any type of issues where you've had to, well, it's only been 37 days, but where you've had to reach out to Tesla?
One time, Slacker radio locked up on me, and I had to reach out for them to reset it.
Okay,
That was it.
and what did you think of their customer service?
It was great. It was a Sunday morning at 8 a.m. or something. They answered quickly. It knew exactly what I was talking about, knew the solution. I think from the time the phone rang until I hung up was like 7 minutes. So I was pleased with their customer support.
What's your favorite feature?
Autopilot.
Autopilot, you used it a lot?
Every day. So driving from Colorado Springs to Denver, it's about 55 miles one way. And so using it in traffic is a huge stress reducer and makes the drive through the beautiful scenery of Colorado a lot more enjoyable. So.
Oh, I bet.
Depends on the temperature.
I bet. So what surprised you most about your car?
The supercharger speed is huge. So I knew it was fast, and it's one thing to kind of read it and know what the speeds are. But when you need a quick charge, like on the way here today, I filled from 50% up to 100 in 20 minutes, long enough for me to grab a Starbucks and walk back. It was pretty much full. That surprised me in how much utility that brings.
Okay.
So,
is there anything you'd like to change about your Tesla? Like something you wish it had that it doesn't, or something that you wish it didn't have that it does? Just anything?
I'm pretty happy with the feature package we got. We didn't get a whole lot, just autopilot and the sunroof, and the red paint was an upgrade. And if I could do it again, I would do the same package again. Super excited for Autopilot 2 to come out and give a little bit more safety and confidence in the Autopilot and more features. But other than that, no buyer's remorse. Happy with the decision.
Okay. So what would you say to anybody considering buying a Tesla?
The fuel savings and the maintenance savings aren't going to make it cheaper total cost of ownership than a regular car. But when you add in the tax incentives and all those other things, it does make if you're looking for a luxury car, it does make it a compelling story. So.
What would you say is your wife's favorite feature about the car?
She can watch me on the app when I'm driving and see where I'm at and how fast I'm going. True story. Every day. Every day she's asking, slow down. So, so I don't get to enjoy it to the max. So.
Okay, cool. Was there anything else you'd like to add about your car?
No, I think that's it.
Love the color.
Thank you.
That is my favorite color, is the red. For sure.
I didn't want red. The white. That was the only insistence that the wife had, is she wanted red, and I'm glad we got it because it looks amazing.
It is gorgeous red.
Yes, it is.
I'm Mac McCauley from Colorado Springs. This is my car. It's Tesla Model X, VIN number 420, one of the earlier ones in Colorado.
Wow.
It's a signature model, one of the first ones off the production line. So, with any brand new car, you have some issues normally, and we expected that. And Tesla has taken care of our few minor issues pretty well.
Okay. Is this your first Tesla?
No, second. My first one is parked over there. It's a sedan.
A sedan, okay. Have you gone on any road trips?
We've gone on a road trip just recently to South Dakota, Custer, South Dakota, with the great Tesla road trip, which takes place every year in Custer, South Dakota. It's a unique Tesla event, and drove back. We've also been there in our Model S.
Oh wow, okay. And well, one of my questions was, have you had any issues in your experience with customer service, but you kind of touched on that.
Not really. Since we live in Colorado Springs, there's only one dealership allowed in Colorado. That's because of the Automobile Dealers Association. In most states requires that an automobile cannot be sold by the factory to a consumer. It has to go through a dealer. And Colorado modified their rules just for Tesla, and Tesla is allowed one store. It's in Park Meadows Mall in Denver. So if I have a problem with my Tesla, I have to call them, and I either bring the car to Denver, or they send what they call a service ranger, a serviceman with a truck, around to our house to fix it, one or the other.
Okay. What is your favorite feature about your Tesla?
Okay, going from the Model S to a Model X, there's a couple of things that you notice very quickly. Model S is low, so whenever you get in and out of a Model S, you plop down. It's low, and your feet are out in front of you. And then if you're old or fat or both, to get out of a Model S, you've got to kind of push, and you know, you want something to grab onto to help you out. Model X is much higher. It's easy to get in, easy to get out of. The second thing you notice, Model S is low. So when you come up on, although they have adjustable suspension, normally you keep your suspension at a mid-level. And if you come up on a bump in the road, you're worried if it's going to crunch to the bottom of your car, because the car is low. So you stop, raise the suspension, and then you go, and then no crunch. But Model X is naturally higher, you never have to raise the suspension. So those are the two things I noticed going between the two cars. This one's very easy to get in and out of. Model S is not easy to get in and out of.
Okay. Is there anything that you would change about the Model X? For good or bad, I mean, just something you wish it had that it didn't, or something you wish it didn't have that it did, or?
Well, we ordered this car we waited for this car for 4 years. We were among the original orderers way back when, and it took a very long time to get it together because of they kept adding special features. When we first saw the prototype Model X, the second row seats folded down flat and you could put in like a sheet of plywood. And I guess somebody at the decision level said, okay, these guys just aren't going to be hauling plywood in this car. So we're going to make the seats just go forward. That's all they do. They just go forward. And so if the back seats lay down, you can put in some cargo. We don't even get door handles. These cars have a pop-out door handle that is an actual door handle. We don't even get door handles. We get a silver push button, and that's all it is. So the doors are automated, fully automated. And I guess it took a long time to do that feature. The door is full of sensors. There are many, many sensors to prevent knocking people over, to prevent hitting the garage if you park it in a garage. So there's lots of sensors, and sometimes, at least with the earlier models, they didn't have it quite right. So we keep getting software updates over the air, and they improve the sensors slowly over time. And one of our sensors came loose, in fact, and the guy had to come around and re-glue our sensor. But I mean, that's what happens. It's a growing pain with cars. I'll close the door. I don't know. Watch out. See, the car has a hinge here. If it had gull-wing doors, a gull-wing door opens like that. This one has an extra hinge so that it opens like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, but it took a long time to get the sensors and the automatic doors and all the other features exactly right.
And you were saying that this is not leather.
It's not leather. You can get leather seats. The white color is some new miracle fabric or material that they said is better than leather. I don't know, it remains to be seen, but it's very, very soft, it's very, very comfortable, and apparently it's very, very durable and easily cleaned. A lady in New York State put an infant in a child seat in the far back seat, and the kid had a magic marker and went like this on the other back seat, and the poor lady was just freaking out because, I mean, you know, a magic marker on a seat. So she thought she was maybe going to have to order a new seat back, but Tesla said, well, go get a 3M magic eraser and see if you can take it off with that 3M magic eraser and some water. She said it came off completely. There was no trace. Other people have spilled things on it. It's come right up. So I think the white was a good choice.
Man, that white and black in there is sharp.
It's very attractive. It looks like something out of the future.
It does. It looks like it's out of a spaceship.
Yeah. See?
Oh, that's awesome. Yes. That is nice. Yes. Look at that.
It saw me. I was hoping it would see me and stop. It said, I don't know exactly, there's something right there. I don't want to bump it or scratch it or hurt it. But you were able to see it do that.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Go the rest of the way. Well, oh, I pushed the wrong button. Right. I'll stand down a little bit.
Awesome. Well, it is a beautiful car.
Thank you.
Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
It.